Hey folks, it's Nate. Thanks for joining me at the Art Table again today. We are going to talk a little bit more about the Collaborative Toolkit. This is a series I started a little while ago looking at the things that I have learned collaborating with other creators and how it has influenced me and some of the things that I think are necessary if you really want to have a good experience collaborating with other people. Now, these skills build on each other. And if you haven't watched the first video, which I'm going to link below, I would really recommend going back and watching that. It is on confidence, what it means, and what it allows you to do in a collaboration, as contrasted to generally what confidence does in the rest of your life. Navigating a collaboration can be a minefield, but if you have confidence in yourself, you can more easily see where your role is in it. Now, as you can probably tell from the title of this video, today's tool is humility. I want to start by looking at the contrast between humility and humiliation. These are concepts that are unfortunately often attached to each other, probably because they are somewhat related. A person who is humiliated is a person who has wound up in a situation they are unqualified for, and whose failures in that area are then revealed to others, either through their incompetence or through a direct challenge from another party, often both. Humility, on the other hand, is the ability to recognize that you are not qualified to assume a particular position and to step back from it. And of course, if you've already watched my video on confidence, you know that this is one of the things that confidence makes it much easier to do, which is why it is one of the foundational tools in the collaborative toolkit. As a virtue, humility keeps you from public embarrassment. It speaks well of you because you know what you are and are not capable of, and you have the self-reflection necessary to make those judgments. However, in a collaboration, humility is primarily important because it prevents wasting time. Unlike when you are by yourself in a collaboration, there are other people looking over your shoulder at what you are doing. If you take on a role which you are not qualified for, the odds that you are going to produce an inferior product with an embarrassing hole in it is less. How much less is dependent on how many people you are collaborating with and how competent you are overall. However, while a mistake you make because of a lack of self-awareness can be caught and corrected by others, that correction will still eat up a great deal of time. That's not a great use of your time, that's not a great use of their time, and it's not really very respectful to anyone involved. So it is very important that you display humility as a gesture of respect to your fellow collaborators. Don't go grandstanding, don't go biting off more than you can chew and eating up valuable time that your collaborators could be using to make this project even better or work on another project with other people whose time is equally valuable as yours. If confidence is the foundational tool that keeps your position in the collaboration in perspective, then humility is the piece that keeps everyone else's place in the collaboration in perspective. These people have strengths and weaknesses that are distinct from yours, and it is to everyone's benefit for you to respect those strengths and weaknesses rather than try and one-up them. Yes, you can use competition with another creator to sharpen the things in your toolkit that are not quite where you want them to be yet. But the middle of a very stressful, high-intensity collaboration may not be the best time for this. Instead, I would recommend looking at your time collaborating with these people as an opportunity to observe their skills, go through the process with them, and then try and implement that process in your solo work. Again, keep their place in the project in perspective. They are not there to teach you. You can learn from them, but they are not there to hold your hand through the process. They are there to do their own job. Pay attention to what they do, learn and grow from that, but do not expect them to be your tutor and your handholder, as well as a contributor to the project. Of course, if they make the offer to you, you are entirely welcome to take them up on it. But in general, that is not the way a collaboration is set up. That is more of an apprenticeship. Another kind of really important artistic relationship that gives you a lot of opportunities to learn and grow, which we have unfortunately kind of lost in the modern era. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about collaborating, and that is a very different relationship than that of master and apprentice. So if you are humble in your dealings with the people you collaborate with, not only do you save time, but you also facilitate a good relationship. I know that a professional really ought to be able to work with anyone, no matter how much of a pain in the neck they are. It's true that you should be able to collaborate with people who do not demonstrate humility, but the fact is, it is easier, it is more enjoyable, it is less stressful to work with people who are humble and who respect you in the same way they respect their own work. As I have mentioned before, stage performance is something that I really enjoy. I love the theater, watching it and participating in it. Acting is the most common form of collaborative creative endeavor I take part in. Although actors are infamous for their enormous egos, I have found that humility is indeed a vital part of this kind of collaborative creation. You cannot help other people remember their own lines. They have to do that on their own. Now, if they want you to run lines with them, then yes, by all means, do that with them. That is a great help. But if a person is weak in their lines and you are constantly pestering them to run lines with you so that they will learn their lines, most of the time, all you're going to have is a very stressful half hour to an hour of running lines that, for the most part, the other person is going to be trying to get out of or distracted from. You're not going to be very productive. You're not going to be helping them very much. You would probably be better off doing your own thing until they are ready to work with you on that kind of rehearsal. By the same token, when you are an actor, you cannot also direct the show. You are going to be too wrapped up in your own point of view on the stage, in your own performance, in your own mannerisms, in remembering your own blocking to effectively direct a production. Yes, there are some actors who also direct their own movies. That's a little bit different than directing a stage play, however. The cameras and the benefit of being able to watch your own performance is a huge difference in Hollywood as compared to the stage. But even then, actors who direct themselves in a film rarely turn in as good a performance as they do under another director, at least in my opinion. So an actor who tries to direct themselves or even other actors is really just producing a lot of hurdles, a lot of preconceived notions, a lot of bad habits that the director will eventually have to work out of them. Staying humble and respecting other people's roles in the collaborative process prevents all of this wasted time, the frustration, and honestly some jealousy over usurped roles. It's easier for everyone involved and it saves a lot of time. So cultivate some humility and respect what other people bring to the process. Pair that with the confidence to know what you are bringing to the process, and you have a very solid foundation for a good collaborative endeavor. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. There's a like button and a subscribe button down there. You can use those as you see fit, and I'll talk